had left over there,
Uh-huh.
I had been hanging out with like people that were into new age and all kinds of weird stuff in Taos.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know much about it, but it was very strange. And there was a lady out there that had, we were talking about, she knew I had a kidney transplant. And
Uh-huh.
so I had mentioned to her that one day I would like to like decrease some of my medications. And she was like, well, why not decrease them all? Why not just stop
Yeah.
them all? And she's like, as long as you're in universal spirit, you don't have to worry about ever getting sick. The spirit will not let you. And then I thought, well, maybe there's something to this. You hold this crystal, you do this, you do that. Weird stuff. And then well, anyway, because she was like, don't even go to the doctor and test your blood or anything. But I wasn't gonna go that far. So I went to the doctor. I got a test. They seen I had no medication in my system because that's what they test for, like making
Yeah.
sure the levels are right. And so my medication was not there. He said your kidney is failing. I had already went to Albuquerque. I was already in Albuquerque, ready to get on the plane the next day, or maybe even that day. I don't remember, but I got a call from the doctor, and he's like, your kidney is failing. You not take your medicine, and basically he told me I was dumb. That I was very stupid, and he like told me off really bad. And I was like freaking out because my plane was gonna leave to go to Seattle. So I was like tripping out. Like, what do I do now? I didn't want to go back to Taos where those crazy people were. That were into New Age, and I wanted to see my aunt. And so I called up this doctor that I knew that did heart transplants. He was, I had been invited to like Christmas gatherings at his house and stuff,
Yeah.
so I had known him. And I told him what happened. I said I stopped taking my medication. My kidney is failing. I have a plane leaving for Seattle in a few hours. What should I do? I basically asked him, and he goes, if I were you, I would get on. He goes, I'm going to write you a prescription. You can go pick it up at the pharmacy today. But if I were you, I would get on that plane, go to Seattle, and enjoy your trip. And when you get there, see a doctor. So I followed his advice, went there. I didn't know how to tell my aunt like what I had done because I felt so stupid, for
Yeah.
listening to these new age people that were like afraid of the sign of the cross. So I got there and I had to tell my aunt. I didn't tell her like the first day. I don't know how many days before I told her I had started taking my medicine, but then I had to go to see a doctor. And when I went to the doctor, they gave me steroids, which that was the main medicine I wanted to get off of. Like I was only on 5 milligrams, and that was the one I had mentioned to that weirdo that I wanted to get off of. And she when
Yeah.
and then so what happened is they wound up giving me like bunch of IV steroids. So I took more steroids than I would have probably ever taken in my whole lifetime, taking that 5 milligrams. So they gave me like 200, no, 500 milligrams of steroids, IV steroids, 2 days, and then 250 for 3 days. So I was like so high on these steroids. It was like horrible. I did not sleep. I was able to see through walls. It was like
Oh,
the most crazy thing I've ever experienced. It was horrible. I didn't, and I was afraid.